Hey friends, I'm Brooke from Bear Creek United Methodist Church. Today I'm on my 9th video about prayer, and I'm excited about this one because it reminds me of an old TV show I used to watch, Welcome Back, Kotter. Do you remember that one? John Travolta was in it, and kind of one of his feature roles early on in his career. But there was a guy named Horshack on it, and Kotter was a teacher, and Horshack was always going, ooh, 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 ooh. He wanted to get the teacher's attention, and he was always very into it doing that. And sometimes I think that's the way we look at prayer. We're bowing our heads, but we're really trying to get God's attention. God, come on down there. And if you haven't noticed by now, I'm trying to switch our focus from going ooh 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 to instead we're the ones in prayer that are putting our attention on where God is, a God who is already there. And I'm a musician. I love to listen to music, love to play music. And when I was a music teacher, we used to have a jazz band. And one of the things we always learned about jazz is the key to playing jazz music is listening for the bass line. If you could get into the rhythm of the bass and the drummer. Those were the two keys there. Maybe the piano too in that moment. But really, if you could listen for the bass line, everything was about the bass. And I think really that's what prayer is for me. It's tuning in and listening to God's bass notes, the very river of love that's underneath it all, above all the other noise and all the other things, the distractions that we have in our lives. Prayer is tuning in to that bass note, that bass line. It's so key to us. And what's so cool about that image, if you know anything about jazz music, is if you're a jazz musician and you tune into that bass line, you get to kind of create from it. And that's what I love about this image of our understanding of God is God isn't trying to get us to form into this thin line. We have to tuck in our gut. We have to, just no. If we can listen to God's voice and we can listen to that bass note, we're given the opportunity to create with it, to co-create with God in a way. We get to improvise, and God gives us the freedom to live out that bass note in and through our creative lives and in and through our creative friendships. So this morning, as we think about prayer and we think about what prayer is, let's give up the ooh, 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 trying to get God's attention. Because we know in our hearts, and we have faith in our hearts, that God's already there. And let's put our hearts and minds into this idea of listening intently for the bass line and trying to figure out how we in our lives can weave around that bass line so that our lives will be more full and our lives will give more fully to others. Hope you have a great day. Take some time. Listen to some jazz music. Listen for that bass line. And then take some time to listen for God. All right. Have a great day.